Alright, hey there, buddy, I'm Mr. Game Pie. And, well, here we have Pac Man World 3. It is easily my most popular Let's Play that I have ever done. Like, seriously, I made it like 4 or 5 years ago, and the first episode still gets more views than any other episode of any other series that I have ever produced. So, yeah. Here we are, several years later. I'm going to be streaming it right now for y'all, and I think this is the first time that I played it since I streamed it all those years ago.
It just sounds so old.
Ah, sweetie, you're only as 25 as you feel.
Thanks, honey. You and Junior are the best presents I ever had. And you're right. I look fantastic.
Better than the redesign you get in another 5 years.
Something wrong.
My pack sense is.
And we never hear about the Pac Sense ever again. Well, maybe we do. I think he brings it up another time or two in the game. But, like, never outside of this game, that's for sure.
You're not 24 anymore.
But I'm not doing anything. So, work with me, you spark showering excuse for microcircuitry.
Okay, honey, it was funny once.
No panic! Everything's under control. I don't think it'll happen.
Well, at least this birthday's still better than my 20th.
Ah, yes, Pac Man World 1. And there he goes. He did manage to blow out his candle, though.
Happy birthday, dear.
All right. Yeah, this game, it has so many cutscenes, so much dialogue. It's like, seriously. No other Pac-Man game does this, but this Pac-Man game, it's got a ton of this stuff. And, you know, I feel like that makes it really unique among the Pac-Man games. Plus, the dialogue can often be quite funny, so. I'm certainly not complaining about the change.
I'm in some sort of landfill pit. There's green goo, some trash-looking junk, and it smells really bad in here. Really.
Oh, you're down there. Better than me. Make your way upward. I'll try to think of some way to help.
What about the monsters? There's usually monsters at times like this.
Alright, so, time to get onto our packing, doing the Pac-Man stuff. Yep, we can press the B button to punch, and that was a weird camera angle there. Of course, given that this is a Pac Man World game, we have plenty of collectibles to obtain. Although not all of them are quite as useful as they were in previous games. Not that previous games had much of a use for them in general, but you could still get things with them. But this game doesn't really tend to do that very much at all. Also, Pac-Man can finally use those boxing gloves he's been wearing ever since forever, basically. He can finally punch things.
These are the guys that smell so bad, huh?
Alright, so just gonna bounce on these guys. Also notably, like, because enemies drop pack dots, and you can actually make them drop more or less pack dots depending on how you fight them, the number of pack dots in the stage is variable, unlike, say, Pac Man World 2, where every collectible type was consistent. And, of course, there's a much larger focus on combat in this game. That's why you have, like, 3 ways of fighting enemies, and why they throw tons and tons of enemies at you. as opposed to the previous games where enemies were actually pretty sparse. It was almost exclusively platforming challenges, especially in Pac Man World 2. Also, the world of this game has always weirded me out a little bit. Like, you know, Pac-Man's a very cartoony character, and this world, while not super realistic, doesn't really feel like it fits Pac-Man all that well. Feels a little bit dark in comparison to, well, Pac-Man's typical aesthetic anyway. Though I suppose it's kind of reasonable, given that, you know, the Pac-Man games, they deal with, like, ghosts and stuff, so I guess one could consider a darker Pac-Man game to be fitting within that concept, but I don't know. It still doesn't feel very Pac-Man at the end of the day, though. I definitely will not be completing this game in one sitting, though. That's one thing about this game, is that in Pac Man World 2, I did a stream of that pretty recently, a couple weeks ago, and I beat the whole game in one sitting. Wasn't that hard to do. But this is not a game that you beat in one sitting. Both in the sense that it goes on for quite a while, and also in the sense that it does get a little bit monotonous if you just keep playing it constantly. At least that's how I feel about the game. Time for me to actually punch things. There we go. Things have been successfully punched. Also, I think I can... Camera? There we go. Ah, yes, I can. There's a... The other eye is blown out of this robot. And so that lets me get a trophy and extra life. Yay! But yeah, I mean, these levels, they always feel really long.
If I set the whole world under danger, let me get back to you on that, buddy.
Especially in comparison to Pac Man World 2, like, these levels, they often feel like they go on forever, including putting checkpoints in the middle of levels. Admittedly, the section that we've been through now probably wouldn't have made a Pac Man World 2 level. Like, it's getting there, but maybe a little bit longer. But then the level keeps going after this. So, yeah, I can certainly see there being a checkpoint here. Oh, right, I have to go up elsewhere and press a switch before doing this part. Ooh, barely made that. Yeah, there's also just a lot of stuff in these levels where it's like you're waiting and you're backtracking and all sorts of stuff like that. And puzzle solving and all sorts of, like, time-consuming stuff that wasn't really in the previous games. Maybe a little bit, but not a whole lot. But they do that a lot in this game. There we go. Oh, yeah, that damaged. Oh, I grabbed onto the side of the stage. And there we go. Now I can get up because the piston started activating. Oh! Jump through that. Oh, okay. That did a damage. Alright, now we can finally get on those pistons as soon as they come back down again. There we go. I will say that the worlds that they create here are pretty creative. Like, you know, this whole set piece where you're climbing around and you're activating machinery to make it start working again, and that allows you to progress. I think that's a pretty interesting aesthetic right there. Even if it doesn't feel very Pac-Man. Oh, okay. I touched the grinders. All right, there we go. Oh. Okay, I didn't think that would kill me. Does Pac-Man know the type? Has he ever gone up against somebody like Irwin? Maybe Orson. Orson himself may be the person that Pac-Man is referring to there. Yeah, I mean, there's an extra life across this toxic gunk, so, you know, we're gonna go for it. That was good. And I may as well save. And there we go. And oh boy, more enemies. I like to use the butt bounce whenever I'm fighting like a lot of enemies at once, because it can hit a lot of enemies at once. Whereas your punches can pretty much only hit one enemy at once.
So, what's this Irwin guy up to?
All right. Good to hear that the everything else is threatened.
Detecting a rise in energy in your sector, Pac-Man.
Details of my sector's energy should be between me and Miss Pac. Thank you very much.
Please, Pac-Man.
Beautiful.
Do you see a swirling thing?
Yeah, Mr.
Hey, it's Renee. Glad to see ya.
Here we go. Check.
Just in time to see us fight not ghosts. Yet here we go, spectral monsters. Due to the fact that the ghosts themselves are in danger in this game, and you'll be working with some of them, they needed to replace your standard ghost-type enemies with things that aren't actually ghosts, but could still behave as such, requiring you to grab a power pellet to devour. Alright, I think that enough of them are chasing me now. But yeah, notably, whenever the Pac-Man games first came out... Oh, alright. Where'd that last spectral monster go? Oh, he's bad. Yeah, whenever the Pac-Man games first came out, the ghosts in the game weren't actually referred to as ghosts. They were simply referred to as monsters. Then everybody started to refer to them as ghosts, so they just sort of officially became ghosts, I think. Something that also happened is that for a while they were known as ghost monsters, combining the actual name of the creatures with the fan-given name for them.
Of all the ghostly things I ever ate, those are the least pleasant. I need a mint.
The spectral monsters come from the spectral realm, which is being stifled by Irwin, which is why they're in a seriously bad mood.
The spectral realm? Don't you ghosts have something to do with that?
It's our home, too. Now can you see why I need your help? I don't know exactly what Irwin's up to, but it involves my home, which is why I'm in a seriously bad mood. Come and find me in the outpost. It's just a little bit further.
Alright, so let's just clean up this area over here. One thing that I'm not a big fan of is the fact there's not very much music in this game. You'll often find that you're just sort of walking around and there's not really anything playing. Right now, there is something playing. It's kind of an ambience type music, which, you know, I guess that's something. But there are quite a few times in the game where there's just literally no music playing at all. Also, the mazes are back. They're not as interesting as in Pac Man World 2, though, unfortunately. Pac Man World 2 always had, like, some really cool themes, some thematics related to whatever level you found the bonus game in. But here, that doesn't really happen. It's just really generic blue maze place. Well, okay, I tried to turn around. Whoa, okay, I'm moving again. Also, I have no idea what the ghost patterns are in this game. Well, no more of those. Better just grab this bug before it drops some pack dots down. There we go. Got it. All right. And, yeah, Riverroll pads are back. Yay! Though they do look quite a bit different from the previous game. Hey, Renee returns. Alright, so we started up that engine, which means that we can finally leave the first level. First, let's just grab the last couple things here. There we go. And bam. Alright, well, I guess I'll just put in G and P. Alright, there we go. Let's continue.
Orson, I thought you were going to teleport me.
I couldn't calibrate Pac Man. Atmospheric interference from the radiation. Just keep following the path. I'm not far away at all.
Orson is very helpful in this game. He does so many things to help you. It is amazing and great. That is accurate. Alright, but yeah, so... Oh, yeah, Ribbon Loop Power Pellet. It does things. So there are quite a few thematics in this game that the game frequently reuses. The first level's thematic is not actually one of them. That's actually a pretty unique level. I don't think its style ever reappears ever again. But this level thematic right here is one that we're going to be seeing quite frequently, actually. And there we go. I think that's all of them. We beat them with ribbons. Oh, and bugs. My most favorite enemy in this game appear the bugs that take 2 hits to beat for some reason and constantly respawn. You know, those bugs. They're great.
Another one of those red roll plates.
Yeah, I noticed. Next thing you know, Pac Man will be talking about how there's a bounce pad and how he loves them.
This whole area was created to freeze civilization. And arms with their power, even though as long as now, the canyon still has a mind of its own.
So, yeah, now Pac Man has ancients. Pac Man went a long time without having ancients. But, you know, this game decided, hey, you know what the cool kids like these days? They like ancients. Ancient civilizations that are dead. That's what they're into. I mean, I don't know. They were probably right. Stuff like Jak and Daxter and all that was pretty popular around the time that this game came out, so, you know. That makes sense. Alright. So, just had to collect the key. And I'm pretty sure I collected from this thing right here. Oh. Let me do it. There we go. Alright. And I got the key. And more enemies spawned. Because that's what this game likes to do. It likes to spawn enemies everywhere. All the time. Alright, and there's more enemies. And are there more enemies? No, it does not seem that there are. Alright. And I can go down this pathway over here, get a free little extra life. That's always appreciated. Okay, the door closed on the camera. That's nice. Oh boy, more spectral monsters. More non-ghosts for all of your ghost needs. Unfortunately, spectral monsters that spawn out of the wormhole will not be affected by a power pellet that you have eaten before they spawned. You'll have to eat a power pellet after they've spawned before it will actually affect them. Ah, darn it, I keep only getting 3 at a time. Alright, let's wait for a few more to spawn. That's probably all of them at this. Let me through. There we go. Got him. And got him.
Messing with the spectral realm. No wonder the spectral dudes are upset. Not only are they outcasts themselves, but now their home isn't even their own.
Yes, but they're vicious little creeps anyway, so don't feel too sorry for them.
Alright. Let's see here. Alright, maxed out on health. Sometimes the health wedges that you get will give you 1 health, as per normal, while other times they'll just refill all of your health for some reason. I don't know what determines what happens, but sometimes different things happen. And that's all I can truly be sure of. So here we have a little secret type area. Yeah, this area is completely optional. It gives you the levels Galaxian. And here we have our web melon. Because, you know, spiders, they trap watermelons in their webs. That's how they work. Alright, time for another maze. Of course, just like in Pac Man World 2, the mazes in this game are mostly optional. Although notably, this game actually has a couple story-related mazes littered throughout. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. We'll get to those eventually. Nearly done here. Well, except the bug up there is making pack dots. There we go. Now we're done. Alright, let's keep moving. It's pretty hard to die in this game, to note. Even if you fall down an endless pit, it doesn't actually kill you, it just takes off one of your health. And despite all the enemies that they throw at you, they're often not really that dangerous. There's just a lot of them. Alright. Pack dot chains are back, of course. And you'll be using a lot more of them in this game than you did in Pac Man World 2. All right, let's just move on then. All right, so these guys have spikes on their back, so I can't jump on them, but I can still punch them just fine. There we go. And one of the moments where the rev roll is actually used. Because this game just, it doesn't use the rev roll very much. Just doesn't happen. Pac Man, have you ever done any millennia-old puzzles? Like, is this a thing that you've just done, like, off-screen while we haven't been paying attention? Because I don't really remember any millennia-old puzzles in my Pac Man games. Unless you're talking, like, metaphorically millennia-old. Because, like, I mean, I guess to a certain extent, Pac Man, the classic Pac Man games, could be considered a puzzle game. Given that there was no random nature to it, you could solve the game. And it is one of the oldest video games really out there. It's pretty old. So, I guess, in a sense, you could consider it to be a millennia-old puzzle. Anyway, can I grab onto this? No, I cannot. One thing that this game likes to do is a lot of the world is very intricately designed, and that's pretty cool. It looks good. But sometimes it makes it a little bit hard to tell what you can grab on and what you cannot. And that's not good. It won't let me jump. There we go. But yeah, at this point the music is stopped. It's not going to be playing anymore, I don't think. We don't even get the ambient music anymore. I won't be going for every collectible in the game. I'll probably be leaving quite a few behind. There we go, got a trophy. Definitely not the first one that was available in the level, but by golly, it's the first one that I collected. Oh, I missed that jump. Okay. Oh my gosh, did everything get reset? Well, a lot of things did anyway. But the Pac Dot chain wasn't reset, so I'll just go ahead and grab that, I guess. And I end right up there, okay. Oh, well, I guess there is a riverroll pad that I didn't notice here last time. And it, in fact, gives me the green gem. Oh, and it gives me access to the blue gem as well. Nice. Alright, well, let's go ahead and grab both of those. Because the green gem is right here, and we actually walked up to the blue gem before I fell into the pit last time. So if we go ahead and grab both these, we can just have all the things. What? Sometimes riverrolling can act kind of weird. It makes it so that you run into a wall when you were never actually close to a wall at all. I'm just going to ignore a lot of the enemies in the game, because you don't really get anything for fighting them. They're just sort of annoying. Alright. And now we get to go down there. And boom, we got it. The key is obtained. And with the key being obtained, we can now go to the exit of this area, having ignored a lot of things within it. I remember one time, during my Let's Play, I actually glitched through the floor somewhere around here. That was pretty weird. I hope that doesn't happen again. And it's our first time fighting the robots. There we go, we fought the robots. there's going to be a lot more of those across the course of the game. Yeah, I think I did skip every other dot there.
There's weird techno stuff here, Ors. Yours?
Heavens, no. Shoddy, crescent shit like that. It all belongs to Irwin. He's building spectral cyclones all over the place. Keeps stockpiling raw materials. I'd like you to disrupt, distress, and otherwise blow up anything of his you see. Please.
Alright, so, blowing things up, my favorite thing to do. Gotta have all those explosions. And you literally have to have all the explosions because you can't progress if any of these are still around.
Orson, I'd claim to be pleased to see you, but you messed up my party and threw me into a trash pit where lots of things with big pointy teeth tried to turn me into lunch.
This is serious, Pac Man. Irwin is so hungry for power that he's siphoning energy from the spectral realm.
So what can I do?
For starters, Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde have disappeared. I fear the worst. I want you to go to the spectral realm and check things out.
A trip to a doomed place that's full of ghosts and spectral monsters.
Hey, count me in. Good. But before that, I want you to help me calibrate Pac Man.
Oh, right, the Pac Man level.
You have a new Talk Man? A new big giant robot Talk Man?
More than a normal giant robot, Pac Man. 15 tons of the most state-of-the-art bad guy smooshing technology ever balanced on legs.
Cool.
Just try not to break this one, huh?
Alright, so this is level. We play as Pac Man. Now, for those who don't know, the first Pac Man World game, the antagonist to that was Irwin in his giant robotic Pac Man, trying to impersonate Pac Man and steal all his family and glory and such. That said, this Pac Man is very clearly not Pac Man even remotely. And while the original Pac Man did look much more like Pac Man, it still wasn't fooling anyone. Everybody knew that he wasn't really Pac Man. It was pretty obvious. But all the ghosts were too afraid to question him or, you know, insinuate that he did not have the authority that he claimed to have. So they all just sort of rolled along with it. And after destroying his giant robot and eating Orson, Orson became the good guy that you see in the game today. Him being the Grey Ghost, of course. Yeah, there's not really much to this level. You just sort of run around punching things. There is a point later on in the game where you actually use Pac Man to fight enemies, but that comes much later, and you're suddenly given like a bunch of abilities that you don't have in this part right now. So, I mean, I guess you could say that they're trying to teach you how to use the Pac Man armor before then, but the time in between is so long, and the new abilities that are added are so many that it's just... it doesn't really work to suit that purpose, I don't think. Oh, that's not right. All right, let's keep going.
The red wire or the blue wire? Red wire, blue wire. Blue! For the last time, make up one of your minds. There's Blinky. He's the clever one.
It's Irwin.
You ever heard of Pinky and Clyde?
No, he hasn't. No one's heard of our friends Pinky and Clyde.
You two want to give me a break back there? Aside from those last two ghosts, the spectral realm is almost empty. It's ready for the siphons to begin. Yes, well, thanks. It's been real. Off you go. What about the new problem? The new yellow problem? If you're talking about Pac Man, our paths have already crossed.
The yellow fella? He'll lunch us all. We're all doomed, I tell you. Doomed! I don't want to be doomed. I just want to go home.
Anyway, Nefarious Scheme 57 is a big fat go. Nothing can stop me now. You say something about two other ghosts? They'll be dealt with. And if Pac Man tries to interfere, he shall rue the day he ever tried to interfere.
Cool.
I'm warning you two.
So, yeah, that yellow-orange guy that looked vaguely Pac-person-ish was the Spectral Fiend, and we never get an explanation for him, really.
What is this place?
There's no... We don't even actually get his name in the game proper. There's, like, a data entry on him that you can get, and it's like, oh yeah, that's the Spectral Fiend. That's all you really get to know about him. He works for Urson for some reason, or Irwin for some reason.
Remind me what I'm doing here.
We don't know why.
I've lost contact with my friends, Pac Man. I need you to track them down. Pinky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde. I'm sure you remember.
Yeah, first they chased me, then I chased them, then they chased me. Tracking them down will be just like old times. I'm on it.
All right. So here we go. It's the first, you know, spectral zone level. Yeah. And this place, it looks pretty cool right now. But it will be getting far more dangerous as time goes on. After all, Irwin is sucking the energy out of the spectral realm. And the entire realm is pretty much made of energy. So as he sucks the energy out of this place, it's going to essentially be breaking down more and more every time we go here. All right. Let's just go up. Oh. There's like another thing down here, I guess. Okay. There were two pathways up. One of which involved wall jumping, the other which just sort of involved regular jumping. Regular jumping! Oh yeah, time keys. You gotta go fast! And I went fast enough. So now the time keys have activated a thing that happens. But now we gotta go fast again for these other time keys that are over here. There we go. And that should be good. And I ended up falling into the miasma. Yay! I'm gonna get damaged the moment that the camera comes back. Yep, there we go, that happened. Now I just gotta go back up and get onto the giant ring that's floating around now. The spectral realm tends to be pretty trippy whenever you're going through it. It is exceedingly pink. Though not so much anymore. the pink has ended for now. Oh, well, there's more pink.
Get your game face on, Pac Man. I'm detecting a surge in spectral activity in your area.
Alright, more spectral monsters appearing in the spectral realm, no less. After a while, these ghost fights are mostly just sort of, hey, where's the power pellet that you're supposed to get to beat these guys with? Oh, there it is. And then you get it. Hey, now that going into places and murdering things is how all video games work, clearly. Oh! Oh my gosh. I can't believe I missed that one. Well, there's another power pellet up this way. I guess I can grab this one. Just for some variety.
What's with the spectral?
Unhappy soul. They used to hide in the darkness of the caverns beneath the spectral realm. Furwood siphoning seemed to have stirred them up, though.
Alright, here we go. And another mid-level checkpoint. Let's just save real quick. There we go. Alright. I don't entirely remember what this area is. But I guess we're moving on from it. Oh yeah, this section. There's a lot of these sections.
This brings back memories.
Nasty close to 3 o'clock, Pac Man.
Then I've got plenty of time. Oh!
So, yeah, basically, if you ever see a place that looks like a classic Pac Man maze, you know that spectral monsters are gonna appear. Such things are inevitable. Buffering 2 is inevitable. Oh, okay. Oh no. I keep taking damage from things. Like deadly miasma. There we go. It's gonna change back at the last second. Yep. Good thing I got it. Oh, I see. Not the best of internet connections tonight, then.
Get after those ghosts.
I hear you, buddy. Any idea where I should be heading?
Well, my last received contact from Pinky came from right at the top of this realm. So head there.
Alright, got a blue crystal. Oh. Come on. There we go. Now I've finally actually collected the blue crystal. After circling past it like twice. Sometimes I wonder what a speedrun of this game looks like, because the game is just sort of inherently slow. Oh, this segment. Right. Well, here we get introduced to the green spectral monsters. They'll launch themselves at you like missiles. They're kind of annoying. Nope, that's not the right place. Okay, I guess I can just grab these guys again. Probably gotta get this one. Yep, there we go, that's it. Problem is that this platform that these enemies spawn on doesn't have a power pellet, so I'm always going to have to go off to this other island, grab a power pellet from here, and then go back and get these guys. Oh, come on. There we go. Sometimes the spectral monsters like to hang around the edge of platforms, or even just above pits. And that can be quite annoying if that happens. The bounce pads have a tendency to glitch out a little bit graphically. They're supposed to wobble a little bit whenever you bounce on them. But sometimes their wobbling animation freezes up, and so they'll end up just looking kind of weird. Alright. More time keys. And I did it. Indeed, Pac Man is Bay, Steven Universe. Alright, and we got another mid-level checkpoint. There's going to be quite a few of these throughout the game. Alright, let's move. Alright, we have a pack dot chain down here. I am not sure if this is one that is required for progression offhand. I feel like it probably is. So, yeah, the spectral realm and technology do not mix well. I guess the physics of the world are just inaccurate. Although, it does get implied that the way that the world looks is variable depending on who is looking at it. So, this is the way that Pac Man sees it. Very trippy and bizarre because he thinks that the ghosts are trippy and bizarre. And this could be why technology doesn't work effectively in the spectral realm, because much like how the appearance of the area could change depending on who's there, it could be that the very physics of the world change depending on the person. Also, I didn't realize that that's... oh, wait, no. Right. It's like Hogwarts in the sense that the science doesn't work there effectively. Yeah. Admittedly, I am not a big fan of the intro theme to the new Pac Man cartoon. It always feels like they're trying to fit too many words into a too small of a space. Alright, so, these time keys form a circle. So that's nice, I suppose. Grab the last one midair. But I mean, you know, the new Pac Man show, it's alright. It's an okay show. Though it has been a while since I've watched it. I'm pretty sure quite a few episodes have come out since the last time I saw the show. Right, this is where they introduce invisible platforms. Fortunately, your first time going over invisible platforms, they'll always have, like, pack dots showing where the platforms are. Of course, if you have already collected the pack dots, that doesn't help you very much.
Thinking of the spectral realm has made me nostalgic. I remember paddling in the miasma sea as a little ghost, making fog castles and searching smoke holes for peppermint. Happy times.
There we go. Yay, I just collected all the pack dots. Just fell down and got them all. And we have more spectral monsters. That's the thing about the spectral realm levels, is that they really like to pile on the spectral monsters just constantly. Which, I mean, you know, if they were ever going to do that, it would be these levels. That makes sense. Because this is where the spectral monsters live. There we go, I got all 4. There will only ever be 4 spectral monsters at a time. So that's a good thing to keep in mind, I suppose. I guess they considered fighting spectral monsters to be pretty easy, because they have you do it a whole lot in these early levels. But as the game goes on, you kind of stop doing it for a while. It comes back again for the last level or two, but that's about it. Alright, let's just move on. Oh yeah, and every spectral zone area level has a section like this, where there's a huge gap of nothing but invisible platforms. All of them do this. I'm sorry, Renee, but I cannot let them live. Fortunately, they're not ghosts. They're, spectral monsters and ghosts are apparently different things. There we go. Oh, there! Okay, that happened. That said, we will actually be saving some ghosts in this game. After all, we've already seen Inky and Blinky have been kidnapped by Irwin. And Clyde and Pinky are in not really a better situation at all. They're pretty much... They're captured as well. So some of the goals of the game will be to rescue them over time. And in fact, work with them. Oh, there's a Galaxia. I could do that. Now, these arrows on the ground, from what I understand, are from the game Pac Man Arrangement. It introduced a lot of really cool mechanics to the Pac Man series that never seemed to really appear ever again. Honestly, I think it's one of my favorite classic Pac Man games. Alright. Goodbye, Steven Universe. It's been nice having you. Oh. And there we go. Got it. All right. So, now I just have to navigate back to the exit again. Without having any pack dots to guide me as to where the invisible platforms are. Like that. Maybe I could try... That didn't work. And that it's actually a death. Okay. Not that deaths mean anything in this game. Oh, I did it. I got it. Nice.
Pac-Man, my reading suggests nearby goes to rescue. Either that, or I have spaghetti sauce in my monitor.
Great, so you couldn't just port me straight to it, could you? Oh no, it's much more fun to see poor Pac-Man bouncing around like a big yellow ball.
Sorry, Pac-Man. I'll give the teleporter a bit of a tweak. Now, track down that ghost for me.
Alright, so now Pinky is, a ghost anyway, has been detected that we must now rescue. Alright, here we go. Okay, the camera was being weird there for a second, but I think we got everything under control. Alright, let's see. Okay, I did not mean to fall down there. Oh. I meant to just fall onto the platform here. But physics had other things to say about that. Oh, a card. Cool. Yay, I did it. Got the card. Okay, let's move on. I believe that every level has a card to collect. And collecting all the fruits, every fruit of a single type will give you another card.
Goes to tell me which way. Eureka, I guess. Help! Who?
I said, help me!
Pinky? What are you doing here?
Being chased? What are you waiting for? Pull me up before it gets here.
It? What it? Me. It.
It's the Spectral Fiend.
What's your deal?
You may refer to me as your worst nightmare.
Pac-Man, quick, pull me up.
Be right with you. You won't push me over the edge or anything if I help Pinky up, will you?
No, Scout's honor.
He's small, evil, and wants to plug me into a giant energy-sucking machine.
Any truth to that, Mr. Nightmare?
If I said yes, would you hold it against me?
Nah. Look down.
Well played, my cunning yellow friend.
Let's chit-chat. More pulling me up sometime today.
Don't worry, Pinky. I haven't lost a
I really do like the Spectral Fiend. He has some cool scenes. He just doesn't get to do much.
Let the games begin.
Like, you know, he has this scene here where he meets Pac-Man, and then he gets like one other scene in another level, and then he dies. Then he's gone for forever, pretty much. A little bit of a waste in that regard, unfortunately. All right.
Wow, solid ground. I recognize that stuff. I'm guessing I'm miles away from where I actually have to be, right?
Frankly, you could do with the exercise, Pac Man. You're starting to look even more spherical than usual.
Hey, Miss Pac-Man likes me cuddly, okay? So what's with the big tower?
The first spectral siphon is somewhere within that structure. Find it and shut it down.
All right, gang. Sorry for the short stream this week. I'm not feeling very energetic right now. But next time we'll be heading up the tower. So yeah, I'll see y'all then.